Hi, wonderful listeners. Sandy here with another Power Pop. Have you ever been in a situation where you were in charge of accomplishing something, but you didn't have the authority to actually make it happen? If you've been in this position, you quickly learned that it's a no-win place to be. I was talking with a client of mine the other day who said that he was very frustrated at work because he had been given the job of creating a bunch of rules for his colleagues to follow, but he was not given the authority to actually follow through and make these things happen, even though for some reason his boss thought that by writing the rules, he could enforce them. Obviously, he was quite frustrated and confused about what he should be doing. In all areas of our lives, whether it's business or personal, there are two things that determine the success and efficiency of what you do, and they are responsibility and authority. When balanced correctly, these two can create a productive and effective environment. However, when misaligned, they lead to dysfunction, frustration, and failure. When you have responsibility without authority, like my client did, you're being held accountable for outcomes, but you lack the power to make decisions or enforce things so that you can take necessary actions and achieve the results that are desired. This obviously will create a lot of frustration, like my client was feeling, and it can also lead to increased stress and burnout. You might feel pressure to perform, but are constantly blocked by the bureaucracy or uncooperative colleagues or higher-ups who won't delegate real authority. That was happening with my client who had ideas about what he wanted to write and how he wanted his teammates to follow through on what he created, but he actually had no authority to make that happen. So he was getting more stressed by the day. He was also feeling like he had to depend on other people and they didn't have the same priorities, work styles, or levels of commitment that he did. He knew that if things went wrong, he was the one that was going to be held responsible, even though he didn't have the authority to implement what was needed and actually make sure it was successful. So he was feeling powerless, frustrated, and finding that he was just wanting to walk away and disengage. He was also starting to resent his boss, who seemed unaware of what was going on. When you have responsibility without authority, you have to constantly ask for approval or buy-in from others, which slows the progress and reduces productivity and just makes everything more difficult. However, there are things that you can do to fix it. First of all, it's important to clarify the expectations. My client and I talked about what he could do, and he decided he would go to his boss and explain that he actually needed to have some authority to enforce what he was being given the responsibility to create. He also advocated for having the ability to make key decisions so that everything did not have to go through his boss. The bottom line for him was that his boss had been unaware of the situation he put my client in and said, well, my goodness, of course you need the authority to make these things happen once you have created them and it's been approved. The bottom line is that the balance between responsibility and authority is crucial in all areas of your life. Obviously, we all have responsibility for who we are, what we do, what we think, how we function, and we have the authority to control those things. And when you choose to use those in your personal life, you will find that you're in control and things flow pretty smoothly. When you understand and respect and implement this balance between responsibility and authority, you will create trust with other people, inspire engagement, and drive success for everyone. So please pay attention. When somebody asks you to do something, please make sure that you also are given the authority to follow through and ensure things come together the way you want them to.